Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you some StarMade showcases. And today we have the Excalibur SF2, a light patrol cruiser by Air7Man, or Airmen on the forums. So, what we have here is something that very much looks like the Stratios, or the Astero from EVE Online. It's a ship that I built. But this is quite clearly the design principles that this particular builder takes into their designs, because there's a ton of his ships that have this ring feature in the back, and it's quite interesting. And I must say, overall, a phenomenal color scheme, right? Looking pretty solid for a ship. I'm not entirely sure if all of their ships feature the same color scheme, but some of them do, I think. We've got some nice detailing, some nice striping there with the blue and the white. Got some hazard stripes next to these engines, which are looking pretty great. They look pretty beefy and at the same time pretty simple. It's not too crazy back here, right? And of course we have these crazy rings, and I'm not even sure what these rings are supposed to be. So maybe they're like deflector rings, maybe they're warp rings, who knows? But they do have some rail associated stuff, and I'll get to that in a moment. We've got some nice exposure of the systems in the ship, which is pretty cool. I always like seeing stuff like this. As long as it's not overdone, it's a nice way to add detail to your ship. If it's overdone, sometimes the textures, they just get too repetitive and you start seeing just a wall of shield capacitors or something. So luckily, this builder has done it quite nicely. We've got a very exposed cockpit up in the front. I'm loving that. Great way to give you some nice views from the cockpit of your ship. Looks like we have a docking module down here with a camera associated with it. Some nice ribbing on the side there. Looks like there's some missiles over here. Fantastic stuff. And big turrets on this side. This is some sort of intake here. These got engines in it, although I don't actually think, because it's a docked entity, that those engines would count for anything towards the ship's thrust. So I am going to park my ship down here, because once I activate those missiles, it's entirely possible I'll be losing this little ship that I have to fly around with. Gonna come inside the blast door, which has gravity on the floor, although there is gravity sideways if you wish to fly out. There doesn't appear to be anything attached to these lights, and I wonder, is it because if you use gravity? No? Okay, I was just wondering if there was like some sort of missing area trigger or something that I may have looked over. So real quick, we'll go in the back. We have the missile backings there, and that's for the missile system that is on this ship. We have some holding cells for some dangerous inmates or some crazy creatures. Pretty nice. We have 3 of them, and it looks like this is probably the worst place to put the cells, because if this is where you control the missiles from, oh man, you're going to be in for some trouble if they get out. Here is the core room. Pretty nice core room. Got some crazy stuff going on in the back here with the jump drives, and then we've got some mechanical bits on the side with these, and the metal mesh, which gives it some depth. Good stuff. Move back up. Oh look, fans. I love the fans. They're great. And he's used the fans a number of times, which is nice. Got some depth here and some lit up hallways. Some more of the same in the front. This is where the bridge is, and presumably the control of the ship. What's this say? Deflectors. Oh, okay. Thrusters nominal. Generators primed. Navigation active. Jump drives online. Weapons engaged. Initializing. Nice. A lot of servers in here. It's a computational intensive ship. A lot of computer power is needed to fire the weapons of this bad boy, it seems. Alright, so let's jump into the ship, if I can. And we'll take a look at the system count real quick. There it is, in the lower left. It looks like there are 2 AMS turrets on top, and these 2 cannons on the side. And then there's some missile salvo launchers, something along those lines on the side here as well. I think we have the cannons in the front. Now, in terms of what this thing has attached to it, let's jump into a better view. Actually, real quick, we'll go through the cameras. We have one on the left, one on the right. This is the core view. We have a camera inside the cockpit, camera outside the cockpit, and a camera for the docking. So, real quick, we have a jump inhibitor. And I did not know this, but jump inhibitors, when activated, drain the jump drive charge from your own ship. I did not know that. Jump inhibitor detected. Source, my own ship. That's kind of crazy. If we charge this up... Oh, jump inhibitor's still on. If we charge this up, it's a pretty average jump drive, although it's actually quite quick, now that I saw that at the end there. We also have a cannon, radar jammer, engine lights. If we turn these off, the engine lights actually turn off. As you can see, the engines have shut down, which is a nice feature. And it's no doubt tied to these lights in here. Pretty cool. We also have some missile swarms. I'm assuming one's for left and one's for right. And then we have the arc wings, which I did not know, but these things extend. That's amazing. I love that. Really great job using the rails here. Fantastic stuff. It's just really cool. That's the exact type of thing that you would want to see those wings do, right? So if we back out a bit. Look at that. Awesome. You know what? It looks like the lighting may have changed when that happened. Is that so? Yeah, it looks like there's lighting changes as well. Fantastic. It looks like the lighting has been taken away from the front, or taken away from those engines in the back, and now they're on the back. Interesting. So, when you activate these wings, the lighting in these little crevices here turn off, and same with up in front. And other lights turn on. I wonder why that is, but that's pretty neat. I like that feature. Fantastic. Alright, so now we shall utilize the weapons. We are going to spawn in another copy of the Excalibur, as well as an Isanth. And I'll move over to the left to spawn this Isanth, and then we'll fight the other Excalibur. We'll shoot all sorts of weapons. So we have the cannon, and of course, if I shoot at the Isanth, it's not going to handle that all too well. So pretty decent damage, especially to the standard armor there. It seems to be doing less damage than the previous ship that I reviewed, the Vertigo, which is interesting. I thought this ship might be packing some more firepower, but there is a larger array of systems on board, so maybe that is why we are seeing a less performance-intensive ship here with the cannon system. Nonetheless, this Isanth is not doing too well. It's down 79% on its structure. If you take a look at this over here, we've got some pretty decent shielding, but it's not decent enough. That shielding is going down quite quickly. Oh my. Wow, look at that. I'm surprised we took the shields down of this structure so fast. Now, of course, its real defense lies in this armor, which is quite tough to break through, especially if you're missing consecutive shots on the same block. If I'm just, you know, quickly streaming across the hull, you'll see that I'm not really breaking many blocks. I'm kind of just damaging them and then leaving them. It's going to take a while before you actually damage those blocks. We have, of course, missiles. And I'm just going to launch a few. There's a volley. It's probably going to come around and destroy my little thing right there. Oh, are they coming back? Oh, they did some damage to the AMS, of course, but not much else. So let's launch both of them at the same time, see what happens. Those are heat seekers, and of course they're coming for my little ship down there. What a shame. Did a little bit of damage to the hull. The advanced armor is either doing quite a good deal at protecting the ship, or it's just frankly not enough to punch through anything, these missile systems. And we have, of course, a radar jammer as well. I am going to jump into a missile system if I can. Yeah, okay. We'll fire another round, if I can. Oop. at the Isanth. Oh, I can't. Oh no. Okay, I can't see it. We'll shoot around at those engines in the back and see if it does any damage. Not much damage at all. It may have broken a few blocks. Let's see if I can jump into the... Isanth and fire at that, when this reloads, of course. Just to see if it does a decent amount of damage. And then that'll be it. I think... Maybe, the one thing that I would say that they could improve upon is utilizing more types of hull on the ship overall. They do use standard and advanced armor on the interior, but the exterior is almost entirely advanced hull. And I'd say don't be afraid to use the other types of hull to add to the detail of your hull. Especially if you want to smoothen out the look, standard armor is definitely good for that. And if you want a softer look, regular hull is good for that as well. Otherwise, this thing has some pretty fantastic design elements. I'm loving the little details, things like the changing lights, things like the interior. Just fantastic stuff. The rails features are pretty phenomenal. It looks like that turret does some decent amount of damage, but we gotta make sure that the target is unshielded and that maybe they should be a target that only has standard hull, because the advanced armor of this ship seems to be doing enough damage to block most of that damage. Or doing enough protection to block most of the damage. Wow, I think I totally mixed that up. Anyway, let us take one last look at the ship from a proper view. Fantastic. That is the Excalibur SF2 by Air7Man on the forums. A link for the download is in the description below. I highly suggest you check it out, review it, give it some likes or a rating, and yeah, definitely a pretty cool design. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all next time.